Welcome back to the MGS3 relay
Oh.
race. This is the
Oh.
the third race, sorry, between Edboi and SilentMartyr, and it's going to be PlayStation 2 European Extreme. I think we have some issues with Silent.
Looks like
No.
Oh,
someone
okay, no,
accidentally
never mind,
started.
it works. And for the comms, it's going to be Joseph and Theory. So I'm gonna mute myself and have a good luck, guys.
Hold on, I accidentally restarted.
Yeah.
Let me get back to the menu.
Jump the gun.
I thought the countdown you were talking about was us starting, not the countdown. My bad.
Oh, you want to start early? Okay, you're fired.
I mean, it's only fair, right? Because
He
like,
wants the RTA
you know,
advantage, right?
only fair.
It's all good.
Ed's
it's all
put so
good.
much more time in this than I have lately. Enjoy our extremely well-timed loading options here. Yeah, that's not disconnect. That's just the loads.
Yeah, if we thought Joe's save boss accident was long loading, wait till this run gets started.
We're gonna be able to have like full blown conversations during load screens.
Yeah.
No
it's,
interruptions.
I'm gonna make a steak, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay.
And by the way, there's gonna be Seta Rooney on the comms. I forgot, sorry, as well.
Yeah, it's okay.
Are we runners ready? I assume Ed is, even though he's muted his mic anyway. But
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the
yeah,
it's on the save
okay,
screen.
So we'll do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Right now, they're both started.
Let's go. This is completely unique in comparison to every other run we've seen so far. I mean, they're going to be similar. Like they are really going to be similar. But this is PS2. This is OG MGS3. It's not HD collection. So we're going to see some differences here and there for sure, especially in loading times. Get ready, strap in for these very long loading times because there is not much you can do about it. It is on old hardware.
And enlighten me in the chat. What's the difference between playing on US and Japanese? Any huge differences in terms of the gameplay, or?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I think it's something to do with like, maybe codecs are slightly faster, but there's some variances where maybe some sections like Mountain 3 will be a little different because the radio dialogue is a little bit shorter. When you do the distraction shot when you're in the trench. But then there's variances like an HD collection, for example, where if it's pre-patched or not, like pre-patched, Japanese versus pre-patched US. It's enough to kind of make your head spin just to try to keep up with all of it. But I think at the end of the day, for PS2, it could just be down to preference. There may be a slight difference in like codec text, like as they're just skipping through them. But gameplay wise, I don't think it's too big of a deal.
Yeah, no, I think it's about the same as what it is on the other versions. But yeah, PS2. You don't get to see this very often.
No, we don't.
Most runners will play on PS3 HDC or Xbox HDC, and arguably just because they're the more favorable systems, right? Easier to get hold of. Even PS3s by today's standards are still pretty easy to get hold of, like Super Slims and things like that. And just like better quality of life, right? Slightly better hardware, things like that. So.
Of course. With the PS2 though, you could eat snacks between loads though. So I mean,
yeah.
Is it really that much better?
We're going to see a big discrepancy in loads here. Like this is where you're going to notice the most discrepancy in loads between both of them. It depends whose console. Once again, it comes down to that thing. It's like for PS3, whose console is who won the lottery, who's got a better console just in general from a performance standpoint. Pretty
Silent
solid.
was having a little bit of trouble trying to get the headshot. So alternatively, you can try to go for a 2-3 round hit. It's not nearly as fast as like other games where in MGS2 like a double tap with the trank will knock them out soon after. In MGS3 it takes a really long time. So most times you just want to go for that quick headshot, but sometimes they could be a little funny with how the stage is set up and you can't quite get that lock on. But still,
Yeah.
it's pretty early. There's still plenty of game to be had with how this will go. I mean, loads aside.
Yeah, it's two good runners. Yeah, as well. Once again, like I think it's going to be really interesting just to see who pulls it out. This is going to be one of those ones where it's going to matter big time, like on boss fights and things like that. Certain rooms to the game are just going to be big swings, I think.
Mm-hmm. Beginning of the bridge section, looks like Ed's camera like took a wild swift to the left, kind of threw him off, but he easily recovered with 2 quick headshots on the bridge. Well done by him.
Oh yeah, that's something to mention. They don't have. Oh, they do. Do they? Do they have access to? Yeah, they have subsistence camera, right? They're playing. I think they're both playing subsistence.
Well, if they're playing the disc version of Subsistence, they should. But if they're on
Yeah.
like really original MGS3, then they don't.
Oh, I think
Oof.
Martyr took a continue there. He got spied, so that's gonna definitely widen the gap a little bit. I think they're both playing subsistence, though. I'm pretty sure. Most
Yeah.
people that play PS2 are probably playing the subsistence disc, so yeah, they should both have that camera to use if they need to. I'm not sure if it's as prevalent in PS2 as it is in HTC, but Ed making his way out of the Rasvet location, Marta just entering the cutscenes.
Nice recovery by Martyr as well.
Yeah, it just takes a continue, gets straight back into it and does it.
Doesn't let the continue, shake his mindset.
It's just one of those things for European Extreme, right? Like everything pretty much needs to be perfect, bang on. Any little mistakes and guards spot you. They can spot you from a long way away, so it doesn't take much, and before you know it, there you go, continue in a room.
Yeah, I mean, right now Ed probably has like a. Well, again, I can't even really guess for PS2, but he's probably got like maybe like a good like 35-40 second lead over Silent right now, with just that continue plus guessing for loads. But
Yeah.
this is, like I said, this is still very early in the run. There's plenty of game to be had with things that can go either way. I mean, between Warehouse Mountains, the end, the pain. I mean, it's just so many variables that can go either way for both runners.
Definitely. Yeah, too early to call it.
And very clean menuing by Ed as well. Didn't see a single mistake from him.
Yeah, this has to be done in a specific order. They're not healing just as it goes along. They are doing it specifically in the order that is the most efficient.
Correct. And doing those menus too fast, you may hit, styptic on accident, or you may completely miss a menu. Doing it slower may, lose a little time, but it's not as much time as if you do miss menu.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing to point out. It's just menu in this game because you can menu pretty fast. It almost reminds me of TTS menus where they open so fast. There's no delay on them as they move, and so you just have to as you play through the run, like any runner, you just memorize menus. Like everybody memorizes where items are. That's why you'll see people like if they pick up an item they don't usually do it. It can throw you off because now you have to think, oh crap, like if I picked up an item, I mean, I've done it before in MGS2. Like you pick up an item you don't normally pick up in a run. Maybe you had to because you had to fall on a backup, and now you're like, oh, the menus. I need to remind myself that the menus are no longer the same. The faster you can move through a menu, though, the easier it is to just make a mistake. So you really got
Correct.
to be on point, and it may not seem like it, but you can lose a lot of time in these games on menuing. It's one of the biggest time loss factors in any of these games. It's just having poor menus, because it stops gameplay, but your time is still just going to tick.
Very good room by Ed. Able to get the roll properly. That first roll at the beginning of the room is probably the hardest part of that room. You whiff that roll even slightly, and it's over.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
and
another.
speaking of another sensitive roll, we got the double roll into a triple roll on the
Into a
bridge.
triple roll on the bridge. That's a swag
Man,
strat.
yeah,
Wow. I've
guy's
never
nuts.
seen that before.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
know it.
know about it, but it's just one of the things where it's like, do I really want to risk the rest of my run just for saving a second on the bridge? But you can do it. Most times you just, kind of hold off in that third roll and then just go around. But yeah, nicely done by Ed, though.
Very clean rooms. Movement is very, very precise in these rooms, especially in
Yeah,
State of
so
Alpha.
right now Silent's about like one room behind Ed. Wow, also going for the third roll. What is
Oh,
going on?
they're pulling
Man,
out
no
all the
Wow.
holds barred.
stops. They're not holding back at all. They wanna throw in all the fancy sets. They're pushing it. I mean, this has been a race. Mart has been trying to get a PS2 MGS3 race forever, and it's finally happened. So it's good to see, and I don't think they're going to disappoint. I think they're going to pull out all the stops and really show off the OG version of the of Subsistence.
We have next is the Ocelot unit. Very, very precise fight. There are some safe strats, but let's see if they can get it first try.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's any differences in PS2 for this fight specifically. I think it's the same strats.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so Ed's gonna equip the brown face paint camo, which is primarily for swimming. Your oxygen won't get used up as quickly. It's just gonna shoot out the window for the first guard, while going down to the next window to trank and knock out a guard at the end. Okay, actually, I don't think he trinked that guy at the end, so he's gonna have to wait on that one. So he's gonna throw a stun in the next room, knock on the wall to get them all to turn, and if he did it right, they should all be knocked out together, which then baits the sniper over, which he did get. Okay, yeah, he was just double checking that that guy at that corner was down, because if you don't, then you could get spotted trying to step up here to make that shot on that guard there by the tree. And then the last shot on around that corner, when you kind of D-pad forward, the game kind of has like a weird proximity auto aim where it's gonna want to try to aim at somebody even though you're not really doing anything. And by the stage's design, it can lock onto the guard's head because they like squint down with their head like as they go to investigate. And yeah, curse of the sniper. See, that's what the worst part of Ocelot unit is that guy on the roof. Like everybody else has like a designated strat for, and it's primarily revolved around dealing with the sniper.
Oh, that is unfortunate. That's 2 continues on the Ocelot unit. Wow. Yeah, I think getting spotted by that sniper, you have to be in a certain spot so that you can lean and he doesn't see you. He doesn't spot anything. You have to be pretty much like hidden fully before you like lean. I think
Yeah, you want to
wasn't.
just be like a little past the doorway, but not too much, otherwise you can't lean in and get a clean shot off. But it is something that I've messed up countless times trying to do this. Oh,
And
he
then
missed
he
that
tried,
shot
yeah,
in
I was
that.
gonna say,
Oh,
oh, and then he was off on the roll.
yeah.
This is really unfortunate.
Going for the safe strat, backup strat.
Yeah, at this point he's gonna have to. It's just not. Oh.
Oh, I think he's just
Unless it was
resetting.
an unintentional.
Yeah, that was unintended.
That is unfortunate, taking an unintended.
When I was actually learning how to run this game, I actually did use the crawl space for quite the longest time, actually. trying to deal with these guys. I had like a whole method and everything, which was maybe like 5 times slower than what we're seeing now. But I mean, it did work for me back then. Like, it kind of did some of the same things, and ooh, okay,
He's
got
good
the
here,
sniper,
yeah.
but it looked like okay. I thought one of the 4 didn't get knocked out from that group there. I was actually a little worried. Okay, I think it's just making sure that no one's approaching the ledge there, because sometimes they can start to like investigate if they notice you. So I think he's got, yeah, he's got that guy left. Plus the one by the tree they didn't knock out fully.
Oh no.
Okay, he got him.
Oof.
Yeah, it was a little messy, but you know he did get them all.
Also noticed Ed is also playing on New Game Plus, so he will be most likely equipping the Patriot for the Fury fight, if I'm assuming.
Yeah, he could just do Feign Death stun with Patriot, and then Silent will have to either log strat it, or I guess you can't really do it with the pistol alone. I mean, so I think you would have to do like log strat plus a little bit of pistol damage if you really wanted to save a little bit.
Also, Ed using the subsistence camera to take a better line in Haas South. One of the probably the very few uses of the camera, other than potentially, I think, what Grozny, not Grozny Grad, Granny Gorky. Some people use that in that room. That's all based on preference. So,
Ocelot fight. Oh,
Oh, his lock on was off there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna lose him time there with Ocelot.
That's an example of, as previously stated, where the lock-on in this game just isn't as good as it is in previous entries in the series.
Oh, and then he's missing his other lock-ons there too. Okay, I think he's got the last one there, but that cutscene. Yeah, the
Example of-
lock-on is really weird in this game. You know, in MGS2, it's pretty refined to the point where at least you know what you're locking onto, and in this game, it's kind of has like a weird range, and it actually slows you down like as you do it. In MGS2 and Twin Snakes, you can actually still move at full speed while you're auto-aiming. So I don't really use it a whole lot. Maybe for Ocelot, for trying to get like a final hit, like Ed just did. But in most cases, I just don't like it in this game. It just doesn't really work to my benefit a lot of the time.
Yeah, like I think Apache said, there's no dedicated button like there is in like MGS2, where you just hold L1 and you go. It locks on as soon as you're in range of something. But in this game, it's like you just hold the aim button and you hope that it's connected with the target that you want to shoot at.
ooh, looking quite dark in those caves, boys.
Yeah, even darker on PS2, mate.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed. It did seem a lot darker than what I'm used to on PS3.
I think Ed is using an upscaler, so I think that's why it is clearer than it would be. Otherwise, it'd be a lot more blurred and very, very component-esque output.
I mean, I was just talking about this like a couple days ago, where someone had commented about saying like, "Wow, I can actually see the caves, like when you're going through it." And I'm like, "Yeah, when I was playing this growing up, I don't know how the hell I saw them either."
I
We
used to
always
have the
tried to
torch.
equip the cigar. Yeah, I know. I couldn't even find the torch. I'd just get lost. I'd like equip the cigar, crawl around. I didn't know what I was doing as a kid.
Oh, there's
Nice.
that PS2 lag, frame rate lag we were talking about, theory with the smoke. Like
So
it's
gonna-
noticeable on PS3 HD collection, but it is really bad on PS2.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what's going to make this fight. This what makes this fight a little bit more difficult. Is like if you've got lag to deal with, it's like it can really throw you off there. Probably a little bit more so on PS2, but PS3 definitely has its fair share. It's only Xbox that gets to avoid it because hey, I mean, you're running on a Series S, Series X, or Xbox One. Even a 360.
Silent shut off his hat. Yeah, Silent I think actually had a slightly better Ocelot fight than Ed did. You know, he didn't take as long to Oh wait, what's going on with Edwin the Pain?
This is the example of how the strat differs, right? So, like we said, you can't, because I asked about this, because I remember there being a difference in the strat. In 60 frames, you can stand in FPV, right? Bullet Vs don't do anything. In PS2,
Oh
though,
yeah, in
we're going to
PS2 you
see they're
can't.
not going to be able to do that, so they're going to have to sit in the water and shoot from lower down. You don't get to stand on the rock. They have to sit in the water, or they risk taking damage from bullet bees.
Not the
On European
bees.
Extreme, you don't have a lot of health to work with, so you
Yeah,
can't
you
let a
also
single bullet be hit you.
don't want to lose health.
Right.
Not VE, where you can
Right.
not even care about.
Yeah. I'll just take a bullet B and just keep on trucking, you know?
It's a good example over there of Martyr. I actually cannot see anything except for
Oh yeah, I can't see anything. Wow.
it's just a dark screen.
Yeah.
There we go.
We couldn't see anything. How can he? I'm kind of confused right now.
You just turn the brightness up on that end.
Whew.
Easy.
Well, even in the second room, it's very dark. Whew.
I mean, sometimes on whatever capture card you're using, you can increase the saturation on it.
Mm.
Yeah.
If like whatever main monitor TV you're using can't do it. I mean, that was actually something I had to do on my TV when I first set it up. Was the brightness in the caves was just unplayable for me. I mean, here we are, like in flat screens, and I don't know what it was, but like the picture mode on it just wasn't set right. Where I was testing it out, and I was like, oh yeah, let me pull up the caves and MGS3, see how that looks, and it's like, yeah, I can't see where I am at all. So it did take a little bit of tinkering, and like I said, sometimes even with capture cards, you can kind of get around it with, just increasing the saturation that way. But then it would have to be like, well, then you have to use like your capture card preview window then to actually see what you're doing.
Oh,
Ooh,
I think yeah.
Oh yeah, he's resetting.
Continue. He rolled, and I think he just missed too many shots.
Yeah, the Pain has a very finicky hitbox around his head. It's chin.
It's not
like
really
Bryce
on
said,
his
chin.
head as much
Yeah.
as you'd think. Like, it's not like you can just shoot him directly in the face and be like, oh yeah, that's a headshot. It's like, and this goes for all versions. Like, this never changed. This never got fixed or anything in the HDC. They just kept it the same and upscaled the game. Made it
Yeah,
more
it's like his
efficient.
hitbox is like from like his nose to his chin, from what I was told.
Yeah, it's
very
just, like,
weird.
super weird. It almost reminds me of the gunner in TTS on the tank. It's a similar thing. That hitbox, you can't shoot him in the top of the head. You actually have to shoot him lower down. It's almost like, once again, from his like mouth nose area downwards. And it's just, I guess it's just the way they did it back in the day. I mean, I don't think any developer ever gets hitboxes right anyway. Like, they're always a little bit scuffed, but these days they do make hitboxes more advanced. They do them properly. Back in the day, like,
Oh, Silent's gonna run out of ammo.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
I think he picked up spares though. There should be some ammo around, right?
Well, he picked up the spare nades, but like, yeah, he's gonna have to pick it up from that platform there. Come on, you got one more hit. Okay, yeah.
There we go.
Definitely wasn't in his favor with the reset, plus the second attempt wasn't the greatest, but still plenty of game left. But right now it's definitely leaning towards Ed, who's reaching the Grand's lab right now.
Ed's having a pretty good run here. Like, it's not. I think there's been probably a handful of mistakes. Nothing major though. I think. I mean, I wouldn't know personally. I can only go off what I've seen.
I think he's still in Foxhound eligibility. I wasn't quite watching it like 100%, but if anything, it might have been just like losing time to Ocelot because of some of the shots that didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely hasn't taken a continue, so he's still on Foxhound. case.
I mean, its Ocelot unit was super clean,
Mhm.
like on par standard, and I don't think he's had any real. I think his pain was pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so now he's gonna have to swap out of the brown paint, face paint camouflage. You
so.
just either have to have either the Rykov mask or just have no face paint camo on. So that way you could at least pass off with the guards. It's like, running away, huh? Yeah, we're running away into the lab.
Oof.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
so
actually where I
interesting.
prefer subsistence camera, which is where you actually go into this part of the lab with it. I just
Mhm.
don't like the sideways camera.
Yeah,
Like as
yeah,
you're running forward.
it's very, very disorienting. Like, I had to learn when I was learning with the Snake Eater camera. You know, I do prefer it most of the time, and I still use it in a Grenade Gorky. But I can understand why people use this the subsistence camera because it seems more consistent. With
Yeah, because
your
like on the
movement.
way down with the stairs, the camera's facing the right way, but when
Mm.
you're going through the hallway, it's facing sideways. You know, it just always bugged the hell out of me.
Yeah, that is a bit of a weird. I think Sparty used it in your race in VE. He
Mhm.
just in that little entrance section, then through those two guards, it was
Yeah.
subsistence camera, and then back to Snake Eater for the
Yeah.
lower.
In some of the runs he'll do, I do see him use it in mountains sometimes, as well. It's like I said, all based off of preference.
Yeah. So I only know what I've been told by the experts of the run, right? Like people usually
Right.
say it's easier to learn. Oh, not easier, but just it's better off in the long run to just learn it from Snake Eater. But at the end of the day, like both cameras are there and people chop and change, right? Like it is to a degree. There is probably like benefits to one over the other in certain areas for sure.
Mhm.
But I feel like still at the end of the day, it is like whatever you feel comfortable with. If it works and you still get the same result, like cool sort of thing.
Mm.
I don't think it's a too much of a hassle.
Yep.
Oh,
Of course, when
well,
you're
rolled a little bit
go
far
ahead.
there. I think he rolled a little bit too far there and fell off the side of the box, so you have to wait for the guard to turn around. Oh, yeah, he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to distract, because he's gonna miss cycles, unfortunately. But he gets through clean. He gets through clean.
But it's always good. Yeah, it's always good to know backups.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean,
And
that's a good chunk of
especially-
speedrunning in general. Like
Mm.
it's knowing your backups. Like, you can always tell. Like that's a good way to determine a difference between two runners and what kind of like level they're at in terms of like expertise in the runners. Like you know that the newer runner doesn't know the all the backups, might not know all the strats. Not that it matters in the grand scheme of things, but you're learning your backups is really important. Always having a backup to anything, because at any point you could make a mistake, and you need to get out of it quick, right? If you want to salvage the run still.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as
Always.
Ed and Silent were kind of, high-fiving each other on the one's leaving the lab and one's entering the lab, I think Ed's just gonna go for the feign death with the stun Patriot.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said
Infinite ammo.
earlier, New Game Plus is like, it's just a big benefit to New Game Plus. Things like this, like having the Patriot always there. It's just essentially a carbine with infinite ammo, right? It's like it's
Ooh.
free. Ooh.
Oh, what did? Oh, he
I
shot
think
him
He
first.
unfortunately shot.
Oh
he
no!
unfortunately
What
Uh,
are you doing?
Now he's gotta
Oh,
reset.
he's gonna have to reset.
And he doesn't have
Oh,
a thing.
that
So,
is.
Yep, he just oof.
Oh, that was
Unfortunate.
painful to see. Yeah, so he shot the Fury right before the stun went off, so that breaks any kind of chance of doing just the quick, non-lethal knockout, if you would. Because if you shoot him first, then it doesn't matter what you do to him afterwards. He just breaks loose and then screws up the whole thing. Oh, that is unfortunate.
And
Alright,
trust
so
me,
he's gonna
you could
revive again, throw it. I'm sure he's gonna wait this time.
wait this time.
There he goes.
Yeah. And trust me, you do not want to do this fight casually. It is
They'll just
one of the worst fights ever. He just jumps
Yeah.
around from tree to tree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again,
but-
I found a way to manage that madness of trying to deal with him in the trees, but once you've learned either the log strat or the patriot strat, I mean, there's no point going back. Don't put yourself through that agony.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed seeing the log strat. I just find it funny. It's like, oh yeah, they're setting up traps to get away prisoners. No, we're gonna use it to kill the fear, non-lethally, of course.
Actually, I think it was either Slade's or Jaguar King's MGS3 run where I think I saw them use the log strat to kill the fear, and I was just like, man, why didn't I think of that? Oh, something happened to Silent on the way. I don't know if it was on the way in the lab or trying to leave.
He pressed up against one of the cubbies or cubbies against one of the scientists' little rooms. It made
Oh,
him
the
face toward the guard.
cubicles. Yeah.
Yeah, cubicles. Couldn't remember what the hell they were called. I'm saying cubbies, like, the kindergartner putting his lunchbox in a.
Wow, nice roll through that door as it closes. I can't get that door to
Oh,
behave.
yeah, well, damn.
But yeah,
It's a little tight little like window of time there that you can roll through that door.
I always seem to get stuck 99% of the time, so I just don't even bother anymore. Which, of course, I guess if it was something like VE where everything mattered, then maybe it might be different. To say, yeah, maybe I'll just go for it. Not sure what Ed was doing there with the codec.
Looks like he went to the healing radio frequency to up his stamina, but not really sure for what. Guessing to go
I was
ahead
gonna
and
say
have
he
it.
has he has the animal's camo on for aiming, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure what for, unless if it's just purely for safety against the end. Like if he gets
Maybe.
hit for some reason, it won't just be an instant knockout and then sent back to jail. So that's probably why he did it.
Maybe, yeah.
Because like on European Extreme, every hit from the end is like half your stamina, or at least really close to it. So if you're running on fumes going into the end and you're risking a hit, you don't just redo the fight. You get sent back to the lab that you just escaped from, and then have to make your way back all the way out again, and it is not fun. Oh, he's trying to headshot the guard.
Oh,
Dude.
Fortunately, missed it a few times. All right.
my God.
Very precise shots.
I can
at the
barely
beginning of the
see
game.
this.
Yeah.
On PS2, it's even harder to see. Okay, that looks like, yeah. Looks
Yeah,
like
he
they've
got him.
that set up right.
And he got some good stamina damage too, so provided he does everything else right, he won't be short on it when he goes to do the hybrid loop, which you're gonna see just punch kick 6 times, which is enough time for the end to leave the area after you just attack them. Next, he's gonna throw a smoke past those trees, which is just gonna cover his entrance as he just makes noise with the Patriot. Doing this is going to manipulate the end to spawn right at that corner specifically, which is right where he's going to throw that stun, which is going to blind him and us temporarily. So he's going to punch him twice, 6 spray, another 2 punches, hold him up with the gun. Then as he kind of crouches down to lay down, you 6 spray, stun or smoke, doesn't matter which order, I just prefer the smoke. Then he's gonna 6 spray, throw the smoke, and let the smoke detonate. Then he's gonna 6 spray twice. Oh, Silent had to redo the. Oh, so he also had to continue on the fear. All right, so Ed's gonna try to end it here. Needs. Oh, he missed the punches.
He's gonna go for the shot though. Oh no! Oh no!
The end moves a lot faster than you think, man. Yeah, he's definitely in cover.
He is a old man who books it.
He's gonna be behind he's behind these stumps here in that bush again. Yeah, the same place that perhaps he had. But okay, he got it though. It's good. He got it. He didn't have.
Yeah, Silent was trying to get the log strat to work, and it looks like he should have it. There he goes. Nice little complimentary teabag after the fact. Hey, I get it. When it doesn't work, I mean, you know, I could definitely feel the aggravation, but you know, nicely done. But it can give Silent a chance to make up a little bit of time with the end, provided he does a little bit cleaner than Ed's did. As well as Ed having to use the healing frequency to play it safe with the stamina. So there's a couple of chances there, just very minor ones. But for now, it's just going to be Ed climbing the ladder.
Hardest boss fight in the game, by the way. The
Ladder skipping coming on PS2.
I mean, can the ladder skip be done on PS2?
I don't think so. I
don't
think it's exclusive to PS3 and multi-segment, but it would be pretty crazy.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay, Silent actually got a little bit hung up on the stairs with that box, and he was able to still get out of there cleanly. Very nice.
And
yeah, I don't like that Garden Warehouse too. By the way, cost to be the first of like 6 continues I had.
Yeah, from what I've heard from some Euro runners, it's the beginning of the Operation Snake Eater, and Warehouse 2 is like one of the hardest rooms in the game. It's
yeah, Warehouse 2 is always like, you always hear everybody say about how annoying it is, how many times everybody's taken continues there, because it's the nature of the layout.
Well, it's just like the slightest mistake and it's over.
Yeah,
you know, I hate to try to say it any other way, but it's, you know, you don't jump off at the stairs the right way. You don't start moving right away when you load in the screen. I mean, it could be anything. You know, any little thing that's a mistake is going to result in a continue. I mean, somehow if you pull off a miracle and maybe you don't, but, you know, it's just part of the nature of the beast with European Extreme and some of these areas where, you know, unfortunately, the game just doesn't show any mercy to mistakes. I mean, in games like MGS2, depending if you're playing on, you know, Game Over if Discovered or not, I mean, you may have a way around it, but in this, where Game Over if Discovered is, like, forced in, I mean, you know, it does make you work for it.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, it doesn't pay you in kind when, you know, you make mistakes, but... well, Ed's just finishing his ladder climb. Silent is now starting... his end fight. Man, I can also barely see him.
Oh, he's missing him. That's not good. He's off slightly. There we go. Oh no.
Yeah, has nothing to reset with.
He doesn't have the pill, so he's gonna have to chuck the nade. That's unfortunate. He actually got good damage as well. He just couldn't.
I was about to say, if the end left, you could have tried to make something work with that damage, but I don't think there was any assurance that the end actually left the area. Otherwise, that whole hybrid loop setup that we just saw from Ed won't work. Okay, there he goes. Oh, but he didn't leave, though. Okay, this will be interesting. He did get good damage, but I think the end... I don't think he's still up there. I think he left.
We will see in a minute.
Meanwhile, Ed's just going up his way through the mountains. Oh, he's not there! Oh, I was afraid that was gonna happen. Yeah, if the end doesn't leave when you first attack him, he won't spawn. Oh, that is unfortunate.
That's 2 continues at the end. It's getting these headshots. It's definitely not easy to see. Like, there we go.
There he goes.
Good damage.
Yeah, you gotta hit him like 3 times to exceed his hitbox cooldown, and then he usually says something to you, which is an indication that he's just, you know, leaving the area, and then you can do this punch kick buffer for 6 times, buy yourself enough time for the end to like fully leave the area, and then lead off with the smoke. Meanwhile, I think Ed is now getting up to Mountain 3. Yeah, so he's just getting into Mountain 3.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's an interesting way to do that roll. Oh, okay, yeah, my Discord feed just got caught up like
Yeah,
in an
same.
instant.
Yeah, because I was wondering because like sometimes it'll like do like that when you were pausing. So I was like, oh, did he pause for some reason? But it was just no.
All right, so Silent got him to spawn there now, and he's just starting his 6-spray loop.
Chuck the smoke.
I can't see.
All right, so once Ian gets up again, Silent's just gonna wait by this tree. It's gonna punch, 6-spray.
Nice.
Really nice. Yeah, if
Well
Silent would have
done.
gotten that on his first attempt, that would have been better than how Ed did his. Because of him bolting on him at the end for the last stamina damage, but at this point, it's gonna have to take a lot from Ed to lose to have Silent kind
Yeah.
of gain some time back.
You'd have to have pretty bad Furies. You'd have to reset on the Fury a fair amount. Just something that's not going to happen, right? Like you can reset, you could potentially have unlucky RNG and reset a few times, but not nearly enough to do it. But there's still plenty of game left, so like mistakes can occur. But yeah, like you said, Joe, it's going to take a fair amount, and I just don't think right now it's not looking like Ed's really in the position to make the big mistakes required.
Well, I mean, I don't
Interesting.
want to count anything out, but it's just I'm looking at in terms of like what's left in the run and variances of like how each thing can have like a favorable or an unfavorable outcome, and the Fury controlled just about anybody at any time. You know, it's just the way he is. But for Silent to kind of gain some ground back on him, it's gonna have to take a lot on Ed's side to kind of allow that to happen. So far, he's getting a fairly decent Fury loop,
Ooh.
right? So
Okay, yeah, he's getting it.
one,
Pretty
2,
decent.
3.
Oh,
So
there's the
sometimes
troll.
yeah, sometimes like the third shot won't hit him if you fire it too fast or if he just starts to jetpack. Yeah, this is the position you don't want to be in with the Furious, where you're just evading for your life, just waiting for him to stop.
Yeah, because if he hits you like once or so, like you're gonna die pretty much. You just don't have the HP there.
Yeah, with his HP... Oh, wow, that's lucky. Yeah,
I mean, you might be
sometimes
able
you
to
can end up in
survive
that
one
upper
blast.
railing just to kind of taunt you, but you can still shoot him. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, the Fury just hates us all.
Yeah. It's just
It
an
doesn't
annoying
matter if
fight,
you're
is
on
there?
PB pace, it doesn't matter if you're racing, it doesn't matter if you got the Foxhound rank or not,
Yeah,
he
it's
just hates our guts.
just the start of boss he is, right? It's just a wild card.
Yeah, we certainly do feel our own fury when
I
playing against him.
could drop another fun fact there.
Ooh.
According to the law, the mixture of fuel in his canisters is not something that you could use in a flamethrower, and I don't think it would even be possible in a jetpack because, if I'm not mistaken, the mixture he's using is explosively combustive. So if you ignite it at any point, especially in pressurized tanks, it would just blow up. So the Fury, the reality is, the Fury should actually just defeat himself for us for free.
Very
I
nice
forget
head
what
spot
the
on that
exact
card by
mixture is,
Ed.
but yeah, classic blind guard. Just the blinkers are on. You can't like
I know.
just can't fathom anything else happening. No wonder why. No wonder why this base is able to be taken out.
Oh, yeah. Silent was trying to do that series of rolls after starting the 6-spray on the first guard, but sometimes if you get hung up on the movement or if the rolling turns into like going prone by accident, it's all that it takes to get caught in there. It's unfortunate. Meanwhile, Ed got the... Oh, nice. So he's gonna CQC slam and then drag him down.
Yeah, he did the smoke, and then the lethal shot. Not the kill, but the smoke, and then the 1911 shot on that guy below.
Yeah, poor guy didn't do anything. He was just walking by. Now he's got to go to the hospital and everything. Poor guy. Feel bad for him.
They're actually on PS2, but like these two are actually playing on, if I'm not mistaken, actual PS2s.
Yeah.
This is not emulated. This is legit hardware.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but box glitch is specific to HD collection, correct? The box glide, or is it possible on PS2?
No, I think it is exclusive to because it's 60 frames.
That's
I
correct.
believe
Yeah,
it's
you're
locked
right.
to 60 frames. So
One of my favorites when I was learning VE was the box glide. Very fun.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there an exclusive like skip to get to the Fury faster from Mountains 3? That was PS2 only.
Yeah, it's
yeah, you can fall through the can't you fall through the map or something and land in
Yeah.
the trigger, but it's really
Yeah.
precise. And I think it's to do with that barrel up top. You have to do something with that barrel. Like I think you have to drop off in a specific way, and it's like really like almost pixel perfect. And you have to drop correctly, and you're able to drop into the trigger or something of the fight. But if you miss, you just die. You just fall to the bottom of
fall
the
into the
game
abyss.
plane, and you just die. Or potentially even soft lock your game. So yeah, but yeah, I think you're right, Joe. There is I think that is the
Yeah, well, now hearing that, I can
exclusive
understand
stuff.
why nobody's gone for it, because
Yeah.
it just sounds like a one and done deal.
I think it's also like really hard to do. Like it's almost one of those, near impossible tricks to even remotely set up and pull off. Like, it's not worth it. It's maybe like something to show off if you wanted to show someone, oh yeah, look at this cool like trick that can done, but no one's going to do it in a run. Poor once again, I'll say it again. Poor MGS3. A lot of these tips and these tricks get found, and they're just not usable in any good capacity.
If food zips, ladder skip, if any of those were possible, like in single segment runs, this game would be busted wide open. It's insane. Food zips
Yeah,
specifically.
Buzz was
Those are like
confirming that it was a PS2 skip.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of like what the equivalent of doing something like that, where it's just like all or nothing, in a run would be. I mean, probably like right side holds on like MGS2, I think.
Yeah.
Like if you're running VE MGS2, like that's kind of similar, not to the point where it's gonna like break the game if you miss or fall into like the abyss, like out of bounds and then have to continue, but something of where. Well, but then again, I don't know if it's exclusive to PC either. I think it's just like a really high risks, high rewards strat, but it has like a large margin of error of what could go wrong in the holds.
Yeah, it's probably. I would have said like Tengu 2 skip, but even then, it's not really. You can actually pretty much guarantee that to actually work. It does have a small percentage of failing, but it's not even remotely so. I think you're probably about right, Joe. I think it's right side's the only thing that's like super risky, and you can be consistent in it, but it does have a high chance of just not rolling the right way. What would be for one? I don't know if there's anything in one that's at this point that's even. But I don't know one as well as other people do. So, is there anything?
Also,
I mean, there's the. Well, if you're on console, it would probably be the elevator skip in Comms Tower B. But it's not really like an optional thing like in 3 would be. Like you could just choose to go for it or not. And any percent in MGS1, you kind of have to do it.
Yeah.
But it is something where if it doesn't work, then it is a reset run, because if you don't fall all the way to the bottom, then you're stuck in the stairwell and you can't continue the run. Also, yeah, Silent got really trolled with bad RNG from the Fury.
Or you just decided I'm gonna fly off, and you can't shoot me again, and the worst.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ed's just beating up Johnny, taking his smoke grenades, as well as the bat that he threw into the cell before he tricked him into opening it. Ooh!
Ooh, getting hit by the flame is not something you want.
Ooh, good recovery with putting the box on, but I mean, he's one
Oh.
shot right now. Like, anything that hits him is probably gonna kill him.
Oh,
Oh,
Good
he
recovery.
saves it. Whoo!
One
My
Such
HP
God,
slow.
that had
Fury.
me that had me on the edge of my seat for that one.
yeah. He went to like just do the normal shot, and he leant it slightly, so he was facing the other way when he equipped the gun. That was a close one.
And correct me if I'm wrong. When we were talking about earlier with the skip in mountains, is the warehouse skip is also specific to PS2 and 3DS, if correct?
What do you mean the warehouse? You mean
There's,
I think it was PS2 PAL.
Yeah.
He's talking about like
Oh,
the
yeah, I
lab
know.
skip where you
Yeah,
do
yeah.
the same thing like the ladder skip would do, but you would just go up and over and like roll over into the door to get to the forest faster.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
the multi-segment, like you skip
Yeah.
through the stairs and
Yeah, lab skip. I said it wrong. Sorry.
hmm
yeah. Is that PS2? I think you could do it on PS3. I'm pretty sure you could do it on PS3.
I was
Not that
under the
I'm aware
impression
of.
it was PS2 PAL, but I don't know if it's changed since then.
I feel like you could do it on PS3. Lab skip. Pretty sure that's viable on all. I mean, someone more knowledgeable can correct me for sure.
I mean, if
Definitely.
APAL happens to be around, I mean, they're the
Yeah.
ones that found all this stuff.
Yeah, like they would know. Appel would definitely know.
The Madman Appel.
Yeah, there you go. Like Pazzo said, you can do it on PS3. Yeah, every version.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I was like, I
Oh,
was
well,
pretty
shit.
sure that and ladder skip is PS3. Like, I don't know if ladder skip's every version, but it's definitely only possible on PS3. But yeah.
All right, so Silence opted to
Ooh,
do the.
unfortunate.
Oh, I didn't catch what happened. Did a guard see him like fire the gun or something? Like he got the attention of somebody, trying to fire off a round just to get Rykov to. Oh, I wonder if they saw him in the box.
Probably.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened the first time around, but it looked like he was attempting what was like the old strat of firing off a round to get Rykov to go to that like wall-mounted radio unit, and you would just run up in a scientist outfit and just sig spray him, and then just drag him into the locker.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but of course, can't let it shake him.
Yeah,
This is a
chat's
very
saying
interesting
someone saw him in the box.
Mm.
Alright, well, while Silent gets set up to go to the torture segment, Ed looks like he's now just finished up the Sorrow thing.
Yeah, he just finished drowning. Such a weird thing to say. It's like, oh, he killed himself in the game, like because it's such a weird and nice Silent giving us a salute to the Dragon. Yeah, it's such a weird section of the game. It's just all like false and. Okay. Oh, we got the roll onto the log. Oh, Ed went for it.
And the
Ed went
swag
for
roll.
Ed
Ooh,
went for the double swag. He rolled onto the log and immediately rolled off the log.
I'm not confident to do that in my runs yet. I've always had to do the swim of shame after I miss it.
That's a potential was it 25 seconds? 20 seconds? 25
Yep.
seconds time loss.
At least.
Miss that.
Yeah,
That's
it would've been even
everything
worse
on a
if I-
PB run. That is everything
Right.
on a PB run.
If I'm not mistaken, there's also a strat that Appel found, whereas there's a really precise roll, to to get up the instead of going all the way around. It's a crazy precise roll.
It's like
Never-
a pixel perfect roll up the side of the hill as soon as you that whole room starts, and you can get up it and just be right at the log.
Yeah.
But it's once
Like
again,
it-
it's one of those tricks where it's
Yeah.
near impossible to do, and it's not
Yeah.
worth.
Incredibly precise.
remotely.
Yeah. You mess it up, you got to do
Yeah.
the slim of shame, so I can understand why people don't do it in their runs. Not worth it. Still cool though.
Yeah, it's cool when Pell finds all these little things, and you're just like, it just blows your mind. And then he's like, "Yeah, but it can't be used. I haven't found anywhere that's like even remotely useful." Or it's like, "Well, it can be used, and it would be useful, but good luck doing it in a run. Like, you need the 1 in a million chance of doing it, and no one's gonna remotely kill their run or ruin their PvE chances."
Ed equipping the Cold War camo before the first section. Interesting. Remind me what I know Cold War camo can helps with like soldiers not shooting, but what would it do for before Volgan?
Nothing. It's just so he's got the camo set up.
Oh, okay.
Because he doesn't
Yeah,
need to do
I
anything
think
up
it's
here.
just
Like,
purely for bike chase.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
it's just so that it's on and he doesn't have to menu at any point before, because he has to do it before Volgan anyway, or
Mm-hmm.
has to be done before the bike chase. Otherwise, you're just going to be menuing at the start of the bike chase.
Yeah. Which is
So-
another benefit of New Game Plus.
Up here, it doesn't matter because he's just going to do the strat where he shoots the guard and they completely ignore him.
Everyone's on autopilot here. Like it's crazy.
Hey, that's weird. I've never seen that guard turn right
Yeah, I
back
was gonna
around
say.
before.
I've never seen that guard turn around either. Usually, it's just the guard at the end that comes down. But hey, he didn't get spotted. Still,
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't get caught when that guy did that.
Answer me. Who is helping you?
Do you want to point out Ed is having a really good run.
Who let you in?
yeah.
Yeah, really, I
Never
think it was
takes
just the... Well, it was just the fear. He had to reset.
Your limits.
Yeah, he did. That was I think one of his.
That was the
I
only
think
one.
Only continue, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He brought the A game today.
Yeah.
He didn't want to. He was ready to pull out all the stops and pass it in before he dies 5 times on Volgan.
I was just reading that.
Oh, God. Imagine. Once again, fun fact. Even though I already said this last one, it says C3, but they could have just put C4 in the game. It's been out for like 7 years at this point. It was developed for, or probably a bit more than that, 10 plus years that C4 was already a thing. But Kojima decided to go all Hollywood-esque and make some random
Smarter
plastic
equipping the
explosive up.
scar so we can die faster. Oh,
He moved too
continue.
soon. Oh. Yeah, you gotta let Johnny like move up a little bit, and then you start attacking him. He moved out of the cell right as he attacked him.
Unfortunate.
But yeah, you're right. You can equip the cigar just to die slightly faster in the Sorrow Dream segment, even though it doesn't really do anything for your IGT. Because of the way it's like it saves whatever it was like as you entered it, so the time doesn't really continue until you actually leave. Otherwise, I was gonna say, hey, smoke him if you got him.
You know, the calmness of Johnny here in this game reminds me of how he is in TTS. Where it's almost like only in MGS1 does he sound like a really like gruff, annoyed guy, like really like pissed off. And then in 3 and TTS, he's got such a like softer voice and he's not so angry.
Ooh,
Yeah,
just beating Volgan with like 1 round left. That was close.
That was very close. Yeah, TTS Johnny's just like, hey, MGS1 yells at you, shut up in there. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
Johnny's not happy with us and
No.
MGS.
And Ed is sacrificing his console to get damage onto Shagahad. The price of
Never forget the dream sequence if you save in the torture or in the cell.
Ah,
And you get the dream sequence.
I always kind of wanted that to be a game. That would have been like pretty cool. Because I don't think there's because I don't think that's based off of any game. I think that was something they created specifically for 3, correct?
I can't remember. I'm not
Fortune to
100%
continue.
sure. And, yeah, this section is like the worst on PS2. Probably has the same lag that 3DS has.
Oh, look at it this way. I mean, if HD Collection couldn't fix the lag in Groznygrad, I mean, I guess nothing can.
True. It's just the hardware. It's the nature of the beast. The game takes a lot to run. It only seems to be Xbox that somehow manages to. And even then, I actually don't think it's the hardware. And well, maybe in the Xbox Series, yeah, it is. But in 360, you don't really get this lag either. And I don't think it's due to the hardware. I think it's just due to the graphics APIs that they both use.
Oof. My eyes are kind of hurting with Ed shooting the RPG in this section. I feel like it's running at like 15 frames.
Yeah, just think how it looks on his end though.
Yeah, I know.
Like it's worse than what we're getting.
Probably. Yeah, you're right.
At least the stream and the Discord stream are getting some like re-rendering of frames, and the frames are being like smoothed out to a degree. But he's actually sitting there looking at it on his monitor at like 15 frames a second.
You know, I almost studied through the stuns at the end of that section there, almost as if like we were just talking about like, oh man, his frames must be bad with the RPG, and he's just throwing stuns at us. Like out of spite or something.
Oh yeah, god.
But it actually does get used in Bike Chase here, where you can time these stuns to knock out guards ahead of time, depending on how you do it. And then, just like other games, if you blow up the barrel with a guard next to it, it will not count as a kill, because, hey, the barrel did it.
Just
a couple
accidents.
shots from the barrel.
Yeah, you almost shot that RPG guard.
Yeah.
Good thing you missed. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter, because, I mean, his Foxhound was lost at the fear, but, I mean, you're still trying to do Foxhound strats. Like, if you started out with it, you almost want to, like, finish it out that way.
Yeah, you might as well. There's no point in completely dismissing it, right? If you've pretty much done it all the way up till then.
Pazzo says there's more FPS on his calculator.
There probably is. I wouldn't put it. I actually would not put it past it.
I mean, the one time it could get really bad in PS2, from what I was told when I last saw Silent run this on PS2, was any time an RPG like goes off, like and like all the debris shows up on screen, like it just slows to a crawl, trying to like recover from it.
There are some pretty powerful calculators out there. Don't underestimate them. Oh, Silent almost fell off there.
Taking it safe. No reason to take this so much aim if you know.
You can see the frame rate now. The sections. Even the stream is taken.
Whew. Oh my god, when that bike exploded, it froze for a second.
Yeah, man. I mean, it really does push the PS2 to its limit to keep up with all the madness going on.
I said this, I think, in the previous run. I'm like, these games, all of the games pushed the console to the maximum that they're on. They purposely designed them to be as good as they could and push the hardware to almost the top. And it's just unfortunate that experience suffers in it, because we don't like to sit around and, I mean, a lot of these games we can play at high frame rates now, like smooth frame rates, but not all of them, right? Like, it's just the nature of the fact. Otherwise, you have to emulate them, and even then, emulation can be laggy, just as laggy. So,
I mean, for games that are you know, the MGS4 is nearing 20 years old, and yet or not 4, 3 is nearing 20 years old, and it still looks amazing. Even on PS2 and PS3, these games were very well made. 2, you know, still they hold up very well to this day, and
Yeah.
they really, you know, as you said, push the limits of the hardware. I remember, I can't remember if it was Bigu, but he told me like where, you know, I think it was the Sony executives or whenever when at the very end of the game in the flower section were wondering, you know, how in the world can they get this kind of, you know, image and this kind of scene on the PS2? Like, how do y'all do it? You know, the Kojima's team and Konami they were very talented at working with, you know, limited hardware. Oh, a little stutter from Ed.
All on proprietary engines as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is all running on the in-house, like developed engines
Mm-hmm.
from scratch. I guess what we could call the Fox engine, although it never got named until Ground Zeroes. Or the end of 4, I should say, because it was being really developed by the end of MGS4, but
Arthur taking a safe at that section. Guard Som went immediately to the left. Always loved the cardboard box though.
I mean, it's
Like
just a
powerful.
box.
Yeah, just a box.
It's the most powerful tool in Snake's arsenal.
Yeah.
It really is. People just ignore it.
Reminds me of the codec call in this game with Sigint. It's the funniest thing. You should get inside the box. Then you'll know what I mean.
We got Ed's at the bridge. He's got that final C4. As we stated before, no need to, like, you don't have to scope in. It's always accurate as soon as you line up. You just sit there.
Yeah, I
Even
remember
as
when I
Ed
was
showed, you can unequip the gun and it'll still, like, when you re-equip it, it'll still be set up in the correct spot.
Yeah, I really wish this game did have like a previous option for the menus.
Menus, yeah. I think it all ties in with that aspect of it being like old school, right? Like Cold War. We're talking 1960s. It's not all high tech. You don't have the latest and greatest. So I think it's all whatever they had back in the 60s. So they made the game feel very like old fashioned and clunky.
Well, I mean, even in MGS1, it was set up in this way, right, with equip, unequip, and,
Yeah.
and you know, I was just thinking it would have been nice, considering they did it in 2, that this could have maybe adopted that, but maybe perhaps they wanted to try, you know, reverting more to what MGS1 did, in that part of it. But instead of having like a humongous menu, you could just equip things out of the backpack inventory, which is what I think they decided to go on.
Yeah.
very good phase 1 by Ed for the Shagahod.
I
Had the
can't,
loop.
I can't remember because it's been such a long time since I played it. Is there previous in MGS4?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you have to set it. Like, it even includes a thing called cycle mode, where you could rotate between 3 different weapons or items, which is preferred for running. But there is a previous.
Okay, that's fine. I couldn't remember. I haven't played it in such a long time. Oh, Ed going for the... Yeah, there you go. Ed went for the Mark. Mark 23 shot.
Very good phase 1 and
Whichever
2
gun
by
it is.
Ed.
Yeah,
Very clean
Just-
Shagahod.
having a very good run. Just a solid run. Yeah. Really bringing that A game. Well, just finishing up Volgan. Nice. I think he had a cleaner Volgan. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what. Ed ended up with 1 bullet, didn't he? I don't know, but he had it.
Yeah, very.
It was close, but I think Ed just used up a little bit more ammo on it by the time he
Okay.
got to the end of it.
What ammo is that
yeah.
he has on?
Elscom.
Ah, okay. The damage reduction. It's reduced it by what,
Yeah.
33%?
Something like that. Because I see Ed looking up quite a bit in this section as well, especially on PS2.
Oh yeah.
It is really rough here for frames.
Also, it seems Martyr's doing the shots as well. I'm assuming because on the runway, you know, there's a lot of lag. You would want to get your shots in a bit earlier for the Shagahod to get your damage in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because I've only seen it done on series, but of course, you know, I'm a VE runner.
Yeah, you don't have to do it on.
Yeah.
Except for the one section on the runway. There's actually no point in attacking it because you do so much damage on the runway that that entire section you can do the maximum amount of damage.
Mhm.
You can actually do on that one section. So. Whereas in
Look
European
at it.
Extreme,
There's a bit more action in the bike chase. Last run, we just kind of looked up for 10 minutes. With
Yeah.
this, you know, you actually get to see some action. You don't have to shoot the log. I just shot the log because I don't like when Eva calls me stinky.
yeah, European Extreme, you can't just sit there and not deal with the flying platforms and all that stuff. Like, you can't just take damage and be good. You're gonna have to actually put in the work and get rid of them because you don't have a massive health bar.
That's the one thing I've noticed a lot with Ed. He is very good and very quick eclipse or quick reloads. It's really consistent. I'm impressed by it.
It's because he's young.
Yeah, got them young hands.
Yeah, his hands aren't like ruined like all of ours are. What happens when you get old? When you like, it's old and then whatever your job is, right? Like, you do a lot of manual labor work. Yeah, good luck. Oh yeah, this is that section where one of those flying, this is what we saw earlier, what we've spoken about earlier. The flying platform's above you and you just can't get rid of it, you can't deal with it until you're able to shoot him.
Yeah, someone thought it was a very bright idea to, I don't know, somehow allow that to happen.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. It's
Also,
Ed
they'll have-
shooting Eva. Yeah,
They'll have flying platforms in the game, but can't call it C4. You know, I don't know.
well,
using-
I mean,
I know
I said this before, but flying platforms like the US, I mean, they STEM. The reason they're in the game is because obviously they do research. People see films or they do research, and like they've appeared in films because the reality is like the US Army did make prototypes of flying platforms. It just happened to be the reality is they're not useful. They don't work very well.
Yeah.
With the technology at the time during the 50s and 60s when this was all happening, they built flying platforms that use like big propellers, like big like fans, basically like a massive central fan. Not exactly what these ones are, which are hovering using some kind of energy source, but you know, I mean, they're not going to completely rip off the exact thing, right? You can't do that. But like they exist. That's the reason why they exist, because someone, obviously one of the devs or the Kojima, has seen them before or heard about them, and then they just added them and you know created their own custom look to them, gave them the MGS vibe. But I mean, everything that's in this game that seems to be a little bit like far-fetched.
Someone got hit by the RPG at the end there. That's unlucky.
Certainly grounded somewhat in reality, except for the C4 thing, because they have no reason to not.
That was more my reasoning. I was just kind of confused. It's like, you know, flying platforms isn't that crazy, but it's like C4 was made by the time this game was, you know, around, so why not use just C4? Like, why does it have to be C3? Both are moldable, right?
Yeah.
Like little heart
Yeah.
shape.
They're both plastics. They're both
Right,
plastic
it's like, I don't know.
explosives.
Right.
That's the bike chase done for Ed. On to the final stretch. It's what, 4 or 5 rooms? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just both halves of the forest and the boss fight.
Mm. I had a little fun with the forest section earlier. And like just did a whole bunch of stutter steps. It was funny.
Yeah, Eva can be, she can be a bit of a troll with the movement. If you're not paying attention.
Mm. Especially, normally the first tree or that one tree in the section. Sometimes she'll go around the tree. Sometimes she'll go like near the wall and go through it. It's much nicer if she does that. But of course, with RNG, Eva kind of does whatever she wants. I do like how this first section we just kind of leave her behind, get the cutscene trigger, and she just teleports. Wish we could do that for all the rooms. Oh, Ed doing the same thing. Let's go. He's stutter stepping.
I actually didn't know that was a thing. It actually looks pretty useful.
Yeah, I did it a whole bunch in my my run earlier. I like just did a whole bunch of like like stutter steps. It was like I was having a little bit too much fun with it. Runway damage. We always, cut Volgan off, keep shooting him. Like we're not really wasting our ammo. We're just, making you shut up.
Yeah, Ed already took a continue. He took it at the fear. He had to reset the fear because he shot too
Yeah.
early.
Yeah, when they equipped the Patriot, he was I guess trying to turn around but actually hit square. It was really weird, but it
Yeah,
only
that's just
it's only like big mistake in the run. It's his only continue.
Yeah, he was trying to wait for the stun to go off, and he fired the Patriot first right before the stun, and it broke the loop.
instant noodles.
I mean, other than that, I mean, Ed's had a fairly good run. I mean, he's just cruising along.
Yeah, it's been a good race, to be honest, regardless of mistakes that were made
Ooh.
in both parties.
Okay, I want to say that was intended, but that scared the hell out of me when they both turned around.
Alright, on to the Shagahod for Martyr.
Cool.
And shooting the Kuraton for bonus points.
He's done that a couple of times. I think he shot the one at the Shagahod, didn't he? And, I know people quite often shoot the one at the end of the boss because you get a little. Usually, you get a little few seconds to quick shoot.
Oh, I just wanted to thank our raiders that just came in from Name Soom's stream. Welcome over. This is the Metal Gear Solid 3 relay race hosted by El Pazo. Currently just watching the shortly the end of this run between Edboi and SilentMartyr running MGS3 Snake Eater on PS2.
Yeah. Next up will be European Extreme All Camos with Vermilion Noel and Apache Smash. It's gonna be a really interesting run.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
I actually just started learning about that recently because it's in this relay, and it does sound really interesting, like how they've been routing that.
Yeah, I've watched. I remember watching Apache on stream. Like, I don't know if he routed on stream, but I remember like maybe one of his first runs after he'd done the routing for it and stuff like that. I've seen him do it a couple of times on stream. And he did it. Did he do it? I think he's put in to do it at events like GDQ and stuff, but I don't know if he actually got it in. I think he got Tuxedo, definitely. if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Tuxedo's made it in. Blindfolded Tanker's gotten in. I mean, all camos would be really nice to have it get in at an event.
Yeah. Just something unique, right? Something you don't see often.
Oh, but then again, I mean, hey, PS2 all Keratons run. Who wants to
Yeah.
put themselves to that kind of torture?
Yeah. That would definitely be unique.
Well, I mean, there's unique, and then there's unique. I mean, hey, don't let me sway either way. I mean, if you want to do it, go ahead. But
well,
Silent
no.
just finishing up the first half, and then of Shagohan. And I think Ed just wrapped up his the boss fight.
Yep. He's finished the boss
Oh,
fight.
Silent! Volgan blocked it. Yeah, if Volgan's not turned all the way around when you hit the treads, he could still block incoming fire.
Oh no.
But I think he's got it now. No?
Oh no, he missed. He turned.
Oh, dude, I hate it when he does this. Yeah, so you just kind of swap between the RPG and the Moza Nagant. Alternatively, you can use the SVD. It will get him slightly faster. But if you're going for Foxhound strats where you can't kill anybody, then the Moza Nagant is the preferred method.
And unfortunately, at the first phase of Shagahad, he wasn't able to get the loop, had to kind of resort really just to a casual fight. With the Shagahad, if that loop it's very unforgiving. You don't get the shot, it's all just, casual from there.
White chase for a Silent. It's going to be a lot of looking up again.
Been interesting, watching, commentating a European Extreme race. This is kind of like my first time doing everything like this, so it's been fun, honestly.
I mean, one thing I like about this game is, there really is no drastic advantage or disadvantage of running New Game Plus like other games might have. Oh, and that's time for Ed.
It's time for Ed.
GG's.
Also missed Onslaught.
Yeah, like in games like MGS2, New Game Plus is probably more or less standard, just given the benefit of not having to sit through a tutorial and Strat C and a bunch of other reasons. MGS4 has a bigger impact of whether if you run New Game or New Game Plus just because of how it's routed. But then you come across the 3 where, honestly, other than maybe like how you handle the fear and, what you have available for Bike Chase, it doesn't really change a whole lot. Like, a New Game Plus and New Game Runner could, like, competitively run against each other without any kind of, obvious, like, advantage to one over the other. I mean, as opposed to, let's say, like, New Game Plus of 4. I mean, obviously there's going to be parts New Game Plus has going to be an easier time with boss fights than a New Game Run would, but it doesn't mean that they can't still compete for something like sub 2 hours, which is still really hard to get in that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, other than the one continue in the fear, this could have been a Foxhound run for Ed.
It is very
I
hard.
don't think he got spotted by anybody. I don't think he killed anything, and I don't recall if he used life meds either.
That was so close.
Because I know Silent did, but his Foxhound was up way sooner. But yeah, GG Zed.
That was so close from
Yeah.
Foxhound. That's insane.
Yeah.
I think it was just the fear, wasn't it?
Just the fear, yeah.
That's it.
Actually, what's the world record for this category?
I think Ed has a pending 123. Or hold on, I'm trying to think. Well, I'll have to look at it currently. I know he has a pending run for this category, if I'm not mistaken.
Silent's going full. He's going for the full like Rambo look.
I like it.
So I mean, current one is 127.34 by Hikari, but obviously, if there's a PB that's not been submitted, that was 10 years ago, by the way.
I was
Okay, he's changing it back. I was about to say that is incredibly gutsy to do on European Extreme because well, not only does your stamina drain faster, but you lose all whatever defensive benefit you're getting from the Oscam camo.
You gonna shoot the log?
Well, he's
Hell
gonna have
yeah.
to because he can't survive it with that
Oh, that's
HP.
right. That's correct. Yeah.
Damn, there's a PS2 run from 14 years ago.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I think it's a JP runner. Third place, got third place for PS2 because there's like 4 runs total for European Extreme on PS2. Like 4 or 5 runs. But if Ed's got like a PB he never submitted, then that's probably current world record. Outside of Hikari's.
Oh, Edboi says it might be a PB, actually.
I mean, he did have a really good, run for the most part. Just not a whole lot of hang-ups. Just, maybe a little bit of time lost at the end and having to reset the fear fight.
Yeah, that's not.
But other than that, I didn't really notice anything out of the ordinary that could have just been drastic time loss.
Yeah, honestly, the continue on the fear is not a costly one. Like, I think he lost like 20 seconds, maybe 25 seconds.
Well, I mean, between having to sit to the continue screen, redo the fight, actually beat him, I mean, maybe it's something like that, but with the end having to run from him, I mean, that's maybe like a fraction of what he lost on the fear.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to look at it as far as, world record pace and everything, and if your boss fights have to get polished up in order to help get it there, those are things you look for. But I mean, to me, it was a really good run. Just, yeah, really one stupid mistake on the fear that just kind of cost him that.
Yeah, and I think there was no Foxhound rank on a race or a marathon since, I don't know, 5 years maybe. So that would have been the first, honestly.
I mean, I've come close myself before, but I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I think the only...
It's such a hard game to get it in.
I can't remember if it isn't the only Foxhound run in a marathon Molotov's old AGDQ run.
Oh yeah.
AGDQ run. I think that's the only one that's ever done it at a marathon. Foxhound. I could be wrong.
I think Apache had one. I'm
Oh
not
yeah, he
sure.
might have got one.
I might ask him, but it's possible he got
Yeah.
one a few years ago.
If anybody was going to do it, it'd be Apache.
Oh yeah.
So,
But
they're
yeah,
probably-
if anybody gonna do it, it was almost Edboi. So
Yeah. PS2 Foxhound.
I think we will have time to watch the in-game time before Silent is done. So we'll see if Edboi has a PB.
Probably. I don't quite catch where he's at in the credits. Just from watching Silent screen, but yeah, we probably have time for that. Well, I mean, plus then again, it's your relay puzzle.
I mean, the next we're kind of ahead on schedule, kind of a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, next run is 21:10 my time, so that's like 10 minutes from now, 15 minutes still.
I think he's at the end of the first song, so
Damn, they got Popeye's logo.
It's actually weird, like how different the credits is for me when it's on Japanese versus US.
You can't tell where you're at in the credits.
No.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, unless if I had audio, I mean, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, just from looking at it, I wouldn't be able to. Okay, now looking at it, I
you
can
can tell.
yeah,
Now
he's
you
getting
can
close
tell
to
the
the end.
logos.
But
yeah.
for like the past like 2 minutes, I had no idea where he was at in the credits.
Yeah, definitely. I always know, and I don't run the game, but I always know when I see like the Calorie Mate logo, or the Triumph logo. Usually tell. MetalGearSolid.com. Everybody log into that domain. I'm sure it's still going.
Oh yeah.
Submit your clear codes
Quote
to.
unquote.
You know, I was
Clear-
actually sad when when I finished like MGS2 Substance and tried to go to that site to submit your clear code, and that site just no longer works.
Nah, yeah, it's been dead for
Like,
years.
there's an archived version of it, but like the portion where you could actually submit a clear code doesn't work anymore. I'll
Yeah.
never know what it is.
Some of those clear codes, you can get some really like spicy clear codes. I've had some really, yeah, I've had some. There's been some full words in those clear codes that definitely should not be in there. So
I heard if you get a Foxhound on this marathon, you get a code to unlock Metal Gear Solid 3 on PC. But thanks to
Okay.
Edboi, we won't have it.
Ah.
Blame him.
oh, well done,
Damn it,
Edboi.
Edboi says his PB actually is 1 hour 30 minutes 51 seconds, so it might be really close. Actually, that might be a PB.
1 hour 51, or 1 hour 30, 51. Okay.
Yeah, because he had 2 continues on his PB. He said, "Man, if he had
So
Foxhound,
that
oh my
PB
God."
is like 3 minutes off of world record. Not even that, a little bit less. It's like 2 minutes off of current world record.
You know, if the
Yeah.
only continuity he had was a quick one, I mean, I don't know what else he did in that 130 run, but I almost feel like he should have it. You know, the PB, I mean.
Yeah.
I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think
It was
he
certainly
should-
a clean enough run, even with what the mistakes, the few mistakes that he had in there. I feel like it was more than enough, clean enough run.
Yeah, like I said, like the only I think major ones were of course Fear, and a little bit of a mistake on Ocelot, but other than that, it was a really clean run.
Okay, I unmuted Edboi so we can have his reaction live.
He
Maybe for the
muted
PB.
himself away.
Oh, he muted himself.
yeah, yeah.
Boy!
Me can hear us though. He just muted his mic himself. There we go.
Hi.
Hello,
Hey,
That was really stressful.
Ed.
Well, you didn't make it look stressful. Made it look pretty
I
good.
was so stressed you had a Foxhound, but hopefully you don't, so it's okay. No, I'm just
Damn.
kidding.
In before he splices the Foxhound score screen.
Nah,
That's why.
to be fair, Mars, he's kind of rusty at the game. He hasn't played this in a while, so and he's also on medium, so he doesn't have the extra camos like the Cold War to use during bike chase.
Are you telling me you're cheating?
Exactly.
Okay, where is the ban button? Hold on.
Hold on, I can disconnect him from the call.
Right now,
I mean, even if that's true, I mean, there were still some things that happened to Silent in the bike chase that, still would have been a, big deal. I mean, Cold War might have stopped an
Oh,
RPG
oh
from hitting
no,
him, but
Edboi.
He
I
did
mean,
not.
Silent.
He did not counter the boss. Instead, he got countered. and was
She's
slammed.
so powerful.
Yeah, it's one slam. That's it. That's all you get. You don't get to live. You just get killed.
She's the boss after all.
ooh, that
All right,
underhanded
let's find
toss.
out.
Yeah, he's doing a set.
Okay.
He's pulling the underhand grenade.
Hey, look, it works.
Yeah, but if you hit her, if you bonk her with it, that's it. Luke's gone.
56-minute break. Okay, we'll do names.
Let's see. It's
All right, score screen for Ed.
I don't think that's a
Oh,
PB.
I can't read it. It's
I can't.
blurry.
I think it's 131.11 or something.
131.11.
131.11.
Oh my god,
Oh,
that's
that's
so
a shame.
close.
Wow, that's 20 seconds off your PB because of the fear, actually. Oh my god.
That one reset.
One dumb mistake. Cost it all.
But GG anyway. That was an
Yeah, it was
insane
good.
run.
Sick run.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
Tom's gonna be
requires
short on
Hold out.
damage.
so much
Stop.
concentration to get it.
That would have
Finally,
been.
we got a PS2 race. We got a PS2 race, and Silent's been like waiting forever to get a PS2 race. And you finally got it.
And Silent is done with the boss.
Yep.
GG.
Shoot the keratin.
GG's
shoot the
to him.
keratin.
No keratin. No. Chameleon Edboi, by the way. Oh, insane.
Yeah, that's for Fox Sound attempt, but you had to continue.
But you,
but it
yeah,
was just clearing it without being seen.
you not get spotted. Yeah, and that would have been your first Foxhound run, Edboi, actually.
Oh,
Yeah, I never went for Fox Sound before, so
Oh my
completely
god.
forgot. He
That
didn't
would
get
have been the
spotted
first.
once. It was literally just the continue. You didn't get spotted. That sucks so much.
Well, even if he
That's so
didn't reset
unfortunate.
it, I mean, to try to recover that fear fight just would have been near impossible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
expect to be on PB pace still. It's just out of the question, unfortunately.
yeah, that was really dumb. I shot him too early, and that messed up the whole thing.
Yeah, it was almost like it almost looked like you tried to like the time out the same frame the stun went off, sort of thing. You end up just slipping too early.
Shot him 1 frame too early.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm still happy with this run, honestly.
You have to be.
You should be. You should be. It's actually a really good run from Marathon. Or an event.
I mean, to put it into perspective, it was better than what I did on PS3 earlier.
Feels
I guess
bad.
for reference, the PS2 and PS3 are about like 10 minutes apart. So this would have been like 121 on a PS3.
Damn. That's a decent time.
Yeah, it's decent.
Decent TM.
And then there's Seth.
And we're gonna have the final
Thanks,
time
Theory.
for Silent.
6 shots to go.
Seth, we can't let you get too ahead of yourself, right?
I
We're
know,
gonna-
I know,
Gonna
I know.
keep ourselves grounded.
Yeah, but I didn't even do anything.
4, 5, bang. All right, it's
Boom.
time for Silent.
GG's.
134.56.
So what's that? Add 10 minutes of credits.
Yeah, that's 4 seconds behind the estimate.
Oh,
Ooh,
Hey,
super close.
Hey, Silent.
hey,
GG.
GG's, man.
GG's.
Looks like my luck is finally changed.
I
That was
did
pretty
it,
good.
dude. That was an amazing run. Like I had the stream up because I had to make sure my shit wouldn't drop. That was just like wow. I don't even
Yeah,
feel bad
thanks.
losing to that because that's absurd.
Yeah, and Edboi just had a
Like,
one
that clear-
continue on the fear, or if he didn't have this continue, he would have the Foxhound right now. That was
Yeah, it's just like that's like 3 minutes and a half faster than my PB. So
yeah, that was an insane race from both of you, and yeah, you had, I think you had trouble first on the Ocelot unit, if I recover correctly.
yeah, I don't know. Like I don't really get too worked up when I have Ocelot unit errors. I mean that triangle one was kind of dumb. I don't know why I did that, but probably just
Oh yeah,
tilt
I
at that
remember.
point. Going into
Oh, yeah, you opened there.
the sneak away. I was like a menu ahead or something in my
We
mind.
actually said we're like, oh, is he just gonna do like the basic like default like backup
I was-
start? And it was like, oh no, he just accidentally went in there.
Yeah, no, no, that was like kind of just a little too sloppy of a run in general. I had a lot of like weird headshot misses that I don't normally get, like outside Granny Gorky, like when I missed that headshot leaving, that was weird. Like just weird stuff like that. So it's okay. I had a fun race. I'm very glad to have gotten another chance to race PS2 and showcase this just absolute bomb.
Glorious.
So
Well, no,
good.
that's the thing. Like, at least it finally happened, right? You've been wanting to get another one in.
Yeah, and again, like, dude, like, Ed's run was stupid, so I don't even care that I lost because that's like, I would have to put like months in to get to that level, anyways. So just GG's to that absurdity. Like,
Plus, I think you said that like your internet held up too, right? Because that was like one concern you had coming in with.
yeah, that was my main, because like my last 2 streams, I just like the whole stream would just drop for like 30 minutes. I had to like reset the whole modem and everything. So I'm glad that it did not happen today. The new modem seemed to have worked out good. So that's I was basically like, finish the run and make sure my internet doesn't drop, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, there was
Just
no drop at all. That was perfect for the stream.
Yeah.
I did like my end
Thankfully, no
game.
drop.
Besides that meme boss
Oh yeah,
tricking me,
and
but
I like the fact you killed you did phase 1 on Volgin with the revolver.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I do that just so I don't have to worry about running out of SVD in phase 2.
Oh yeah.
So like if I don't kill him with those 4 headshots when you're like standing kind of diagonally behind him, then I just use the SSA or the SAA to finish him off. Because like it's easy to keep it in the menu at that point. It's not really like losing you any time to keep it in your inventory. And you have the ammo like right at the top, like right where you fight him. Like that is SAA ammo. So even if it's like it goes wrong, I can still get like 12 shots and not just 6. So it's a solid backup that I came up with when I was bad.
Yeah, it's a really cool strat. It's the first time I see that, and I'm so sad actually we don't have the SAA when we begin the game. I mean, maybe in New Game Plus, I don't know.
Yeah, you could do that. You could probably
Yeah,
do an
you have
SSA
to.
New Game Plus
Yeah, New Game
attempts.
Plus, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure you
that
start
would
with
be
it.
really insane actually.
And you could, I'm pretty sure that doesn't count as a special item, so you could do Foxhound runs with that too if that was your fancy.
Yeah, but you will
Or I
kill
guess they'd be
people.
Ocelot runs, right?
Yeah.
On Foxhound.
Yeah, it doesn't
No,
count as a
special items
item.
are only the infinite
Patriot.
face paint and the camo. Patriot
Yeah, that's
doesn't count
okay.
as a
Yeah,
special
that's
item
what.
either.
Yeah.
Oh, is it not
Okay.
considered a special item?
Nope.
I wasn't sure if life medicine counted or not, but it's got its own thing in the menu.
Not
But I
as a
don't know if it
special
counts.
item, but it counts in your healing stats at the end.
Right. Yep. Because the only Foxhound I got, I wasn't even grabbing life medicine at that point. I didn't know about the one that's right before the pain. I never knew that there was one there, and I was like, what? Oh my god.
Nice.
So GG to both. That was an insane run.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
thank
far, Team Cobra is leading 2-1 against Team Fox, but we have one last race, and it's going to be Vermilion Noel against Apache Smash on all camos on Xbox Series. So you don't want to miss that. We'll go into a quick intermission, and we'll be right back in 5 minutes for the final run. See you in 5 minutes.